David Frum. It is good to see you, big brother.
Thank you so much for the hospitality.
Trump is not just a risk for a bad administration to you. It is much more profound. Why?
Donald Trump is the first person in American history, the first president in American history, to try to overthrow an election because he lost it. We're never going to get past that. You know, Moldova has a tradition of the peaceful transition of power that goes back to 2019. The Democratic Republic of the Congo has a tradition of the peaceful transition of power that goes back to 2019. Those are older traditions of the peaceful transition of power than the United States, because in 2020, we had a violent transition of power. And I'm not getting past that. And Donald Trump was at the center of it, and there are constitutional and legal issues that have to be litigated. He did win the election. He's going to be president, but the legal and political issues and constitutional issues don't go away.
Two things. One, he did leave. He handled it horribly, but he was gone on time for the next administration. And second, many of the things have been litigated. It's been litigated in the court of public opinion. He was elected again. Continued competitive prosecutions are killing us. Let's move past.
The court of public opinion is not a court, and we can't move past it. One of the ideas that is out there is that President Biden should pardon many people who not only did nothing wrong, but were American heroes, like Dr. Fauci, and say, well, because you're at risk of some unprincipled and illegal action, therefore we should pardon to protect you. And I can't speak for anybody, and obviously being investigated and of course prosecuted is horrible. But if I were Dr. Fauci, I would reject that pardon with indignation and say, I did nothing wrong. If they want to come after me, let them come after me. I will defend myself. I will defend myself in court. But that Dr. Fauci does not belong in the same category as the January 6th criminals.
I agree 100% about Dr. Fauci. I would take the pardon because I don't have the confidence that I would be able to escape what Trump is able to do based on what I saw the Democrats be able to do.
Look, we're all human, and we're not going to give people advice to do dangerous things. And so I'm not going to give advice, and I wouldn't criticize someone who took a pardon even if he were innocent. But the right thing to do is to refuse it. And the right thing to do is also not to offer it. If Donald Trump, as president, will weaponize the FBI to come after people like Fauci, people like Lynn Cheney, people like former Chief of Staff Mark Milley, people like his own Chief of Staff John Kelly, and say, I'm going to pardon them for political reasons. I'm going to prosecute them for political reasons. Let us have that fight. I have enough confidence in the American justice system, in the American people, to say that fight will be won. But the teaching moment will be lost, because if President Biden pardons all those people, he is telling the American people there is something to be ashamed of. Acceptance of a pardon is always an admission of guilt.
I agree. In fact, it is deemed exactly that, even under the law. But then people equally accuse Biden of playing to the same type of perfidy by bracketing the 10 years. And if he then pardons his brother, we'll know that what this was pardoning himself effectively. So let's put to the side that this is a unique threat. Add to it again what I said earlier, that Trump handled it horribly, but he did leave, and there was a peaceful transfer of power. And if you look at the guys he's picking, clearly they are picked out of fealty to Trump to protect him. They're not the kinds of guys who would speak to the competence it would take to overthrow and create a constitutional crisis.
Well, you have three silos of people in the Trump picks. They're the people who are perfectly respectable picks. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, his Secretary of the Treasury. These are perfectly respectable, normal picks. The person he's picked as National Security Advisor, perfectly respectable, normal. Then there are the people who are, maybe unfortunate, bad temper, personal faults, maybe certain lack of accomplishment, but not actively dangerous to the United States. And then you've got the Kash Patels, the Tulsi Gabbards, the Robert Kennedy Jr.'s. And these are people who belong nowhere near the power of the state. And sometimes they are gripped by strange conspiracy theories. Sometimes they want to use the law in ways that the law should not be used. And those people are going to be the point of the Trump spear. And I notice that the best picks are in the areas where Trump cares least, And the worst picks are in the areas where Trump cares most.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.